Estate planning mistake number 7. I know exactly what each one of my beneficiaries will receive from my living trust. It says so right there in the document. Well, think again, because a lot of things can go wrong along the way of assets being distributed from a living trust that can effectively cause your beneficiaries not to receive the assets you thought they were going to get. One issue, federal estate tax. And here, a lot of people don't understand how the federal estate tax works, that there is a potential for a federal estate tax in your particular estate and how much that could be. Because when the federal estate tax hits, it calls for cash payment, which means that many times assets that you thought were going to beneficiaries, whether it was a business, pieces of real estate, or other particular assets, have to get liquidated just to pay off the IRS. But even if there's no estate tax issues with your particular estate, then we have other problems that can arise. For example, you have more than one beneficiary who may be sharing your estate and sharing assets together. They may wind up with joint ownership of assets, and now they're business partners with each other. Not only could that cause a lot of friction and they may not get along, and one may want to force the other to sell, which they may be able to do even with a minority interest in a piece of property or an asset, okay? But also we have issues that can happen outside their control, where one joint owner gets sued, has a divorce, has other problems, that now can take that asset away from the other beneficiaries that own it with them. And even if none of those problems exist, and let's say Johnny Jr. gets that piece of real estate that you intended for him to have, what happens next? Could he then lose that inherited asset because of a divorce, because of a lawsuit, creditors, bankruptcy? Could it cause him to lose government benefits that he would otherwise receive? And could it force him into a second estate tax when he passes away and hands that property down to the next generation? You need to think through what happens after the inheritance is received. These are the kinds of issues where experience and expertise do count. And here at Kavesh Minor and Otis, one of the things that makes us so unique is that over many years we have handled more than 2,000 estates and trusts after people have passed away. We've seen how these problems can rob your beneficiaries of assets you intended for them to have. And we build that experience and that knowledge into the front end of your planning, addressing these types of unique issues so that your beneficiaries will in fact receive and enjoy the inheritance from you as you've intended.